Welcome to the six-pack Discovery Tasting. These are the reds. Today I'm here with Neil. We're going to start with the Petit Verdot.
Petit, one of my favourites.
2018, Little Wine Company. You're pouring in number one.
Okay.
So this is quite a lighter style, Neil?
Okay, yeah it is. Where does the grape variety originate from?
I want to say Italy.
How about France?
How about France? I think these floral characteristics are what a beginning wine, red wine drinker would like to see. And this is what I'd be pulling out for the people who come in.
Perfectly right up their alley. If you like Pinot Noir, you're going to like Petit Verdot.
I'd definitely be recommending that.
Yeah, I think so too. In fact, yeah, okay. We got a lot of wine to taste. I was going to go for another glass.
Please,
Okay, let's try that again.
I'll join you.
For the lighter red drinkers out there, this is a perfect choice.
I think this is bang on up their alley. I'd definitely be putting it alongside some of the other lighter ones, but this would be the first one that I'd start them with. And those floral characteristics, that'd be what they're basing the start of their day off, and then they'd go from there.
That's right.
It's a good opener.
It's a beautiful wine. Beautiful characteristics.
And you often see this in blends, but how do you like it straight?
I actually prefer it straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think it's got more to say instead of being a blend?
Look, it works well as a blend, but just on its own, it's got a lot of characteristics that I think people are going to find, as you say, for entry-level red wine drinkers, it's perfect.
That's been the Petit Verdot. So next up we have the Synergy Shiraz. This is by Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
So he does his Semillons and Shirazes primarily, in fact only. How do you think this one compares to a few of the others in the past?
Of all the Andrew Thomas wines, this is his nice mid-level Shiraz. Good characteristics, good price point.
I don't think you have to be a billionaire walking in the door to be purchasing these amazing Andrew Thomas wines. This is an amazing Andrew Thomas wine, and it's not a giant price point.
Not exactly right. Great nose.
I think that fruit really comes through in this one, and he knew it as well. 2017, fantastic year, and he knew it, and he made a great wine.
Great Hunter Shiraz characteristic there.
When people come in, I like to give them this one and say that this is what we do here. This is a Hunter Shiraz.
That's right.
And I know they're going to enjoy it because that's why they're coming here to the Hunter Valley to try such a brilliant Shiraz, and they really appreciate it.
You know, the Hunter Shiraz is more lighter, more elegant, more refined than what they are from Barossa, McLaren Vale. And that's a perfect example of an entry-level Hunter Shiraz.
That's been Thomas's Synergy Shiraz. Next up, Little Wine Company's Barbera, 2018.
Grape variety originates where?
Italy.
Okay,
Nailed it.
nailed it.
I'm sure you've had a few Barberas in your day.
I have.
Does this one stand up, or is it apples and oranges a little bit different?
No, it is a little bit apples and oranges. I think this is a very good example of it's a Barbera, not an Italian Barbera, it's an Australian Barbera, and there is a difference. But they've made it almost true to what the varietal would be in the country of origin.
And I think people coming from overseas, having their Barberas and coming here, and they're expecting a little bit of a different flavour, but this is, as you say, a Hunter Barbera, an Australian Barbera, and it's going to be different.
Yeah, it is different, but pretty much made as it would have been in the country, and the flavours are there.
And you wouldn't necessarily be having this with your red meats, your steaks and your lambs. You'd more so be having this with an Italian dish.
Yeah, a nice pasta, red sauce.
Maybe a ragu or something.
Ragu,
Yeah.
yep. Beautiful flavour.
I think I love it on its own, but I think alongside food, it has that...
So easy to drink. Yeah, as you say, with food, without food.
It's versatile, and that's what I love about a wine. That's what I love about this Barbera, 2018.
It's not a bad way to spend an afternoon.
No, cracking open a bottle, sitting out on the deck.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be taking this to a dinner party, spreading it out. I'd be having this with a few good friends.
Have you got any friends?
I've got one or two.
Okay.
Will you be my friend, Neil?
I'll be your friend. As long as you keep pulling out the wine like that.
Can do.
Okay. 3 great wines, but all completely different. For a different palate.
And I think that's fantastic about this six-pack, that has such a beautiful variety to it.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's been the Barbera 2018 Little Wine Company.
Yeah, very good. I wonder what next you're going to pull out of that box.
Next up,
What is it?
we have the Shiraz Tempranillo 2016. And I know you like this one.
I do like that one.
Specifically with this one, I like to let it breathe through 2 hours but I know that you love it the next day.
That's right. Just because you open that bottle of wine doesn't mean to say you have to drink it all in one night.
Exactly.
Taste it, have a couple of glasses, put the top back on, and the next day it's going to be next day it's going to be actually a little bit better. It's had that chance to breathe and softens a little bit more, and it's a beautiful drinking experience.
And I think even if you don't have that decanter, which we don't always have that,
That's right.
just opening the bottle and just leaving it out on the table for a couple of hours and
Yep.
putting it back on, that's fine.
Or what you can do, pour it into a jug, pour it back into the bottle, put it on the table.
Okay.
Double decant it. Enhances your drinking pleasure.
That's why we have you on the show now, honestly.
Right, thank you.
16, it's had a little bit of time to build in complexity, time to mature. What do you think of it?
I think, you've got the Shiraz characteristic of 85% Shiraz, but the 15% Tempranillo just allows the finish to be...
A bit more relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not like a full-on robust Shiraz. It just softens the edge just a little bit, but you still have the great Shiraz characteristics there.
And when those big Shiraz drinkers come in, I like to give them this as a little bit of a difference to what they normally go out of their way for. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly right. It's like that. A lot of them haven't had that blend before, and it's like they're keen to try it. Sometimes they try it blind and they're not really sure what they're getting, and it's like, wow, this is really good. And of course, Shiraz Tempranillo. I've never had that before.
Well, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Give me two. 2 cases.
Cases. That's been the Shiraz Tempranillo.
Beautiful drop. Where are we going next in the mystery box?
Oh, you want to pair them?
Pair them up.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Pair them up.
Next up, we have Margan's 2017 Shiraz. That's going to be in glass 1.
Single vineyard.
Single vineyard. Shiraz Viognier, 2017 on the second glass.
Yep.
Now, I've had this Shiraz before, Margan's, but I haven't had this Shiraz
Viognier.
Viognier. Can you tell me anything about them?
Well, the Margan Shiraz is straight single vineyard Hunter Shiraz, where the Tulloch Shiraz Viognier is 95% Shiraz
95.
and 5% Viognier. As you know, Viognier is a right grape.
And I think the blend is really interesting. I don't see that very often.
No, and just what it gives on the nose, just a little bit more sort of a softness to it, and it a little bit like your Shiraz Temp. It just adds a different dimension to the wine, makes the finish that little bit more interesting.
And for 5%, I think it comes, you're there with it.
Yes, you are.
I think it comes through quite well.
I would say, okay, just my opinion, I think the Margan Shiraz is like the robust style of Shiraz.
Of course.
Where the Shiraz Viognier, a little bit more elegant, a little bit softer, with the addition of that Viognier.
As well as being a variety that you don't see too much. And it's going to be something that people say, oh, I haven't had that before, can I try that? And coming out of one of these boxes, that's what we love.
Oh.
We give people these surprises.
Exactly.
That they wouldn't normally have.
No, it makes them, it sort of almost forces them to try something they not normally have, and they find out that that's something that, wow, am I glad?
I like that.
Am I glad I bought that wine?
The 17 fruit in this Margan Shiraz being fantastic. Can you tell me much about the year and why it was so good?
No, just almost perfect conditions. Long hot summer, just not too much rainfall when they harvested the grapes, just made it a perfect vintage. Actually, any 17 Hunter vintage from any of the winemakers.
You're going to want to get your hands on.
Exactly right, yeah. And 18 was good as well. You almost had 2 years back to back, which is a little unusual for the Hunter, where they've both been great vintages. Smaller yields, but intense fruit flavours, well-made wines. What are you on, the Margan still?
I am still, but I'm going to put that one down and pick up. Have another go with this Keith Tulloch, because I haven't had many of Keith Tulloch's wines before, but they are surprising. I do enjoy them. They're not something that I'd be pulling out every day, but on a special occasion, something like this, something that like your everyday wine drinker hasn't had before, it's a beautiful point of difference.
You just smell the softness on the nose.
Those floral flavours really come through. It's not very deceptive. On the nose, fantastic. And towards the end, the finish, it's really all there.
Why wouldn't you buy this?
Couldn't tell me.
Yeah. That's a beautiful wine. Very well made. Keith Tulloch, I salute you.
To Keith.
To Keith. To Keith.
That's been Margan and Keith Tulloch, Shiraz and Petit Petit. Well, thanks for coming along, Neil.
My pleasure. Nice to be here. Cheers.
I think it's a wrap.
What a couple of idiots.